Session 128, 8th August 2022. Session 128, 8th August 2022. Quran, the Word of Allah, an elaboratory translation by ex-Brigadier Mustansar Billah. We continue with the part 22, and we begin with the 35th surah of Quran, Surah Fatir, or Surah Al-Malaika, the originator of creation, or the angels. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. We begin with the name of Allah, who is most gracious and tremendously merciful. Alhamdulillah, he fatir samawati wal arzi jailil malaikati rasulan uli ajnihatin masna wa sulasa wa ruba yazidu fil khalqi ma yasha inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Verse 1 of Surah Fatir. All praises are the sole right of God, who innovated the creation of the skies and the earth, and do not follow the demented mad in making the angels deific godly. He is the one, Allah is the one who created the angels as His messengers, reaching out to the prophets and executing all the tasks which have arm-like wings, two each on either sides, and as a matter of principle, He extends His creation to any limits He likes. Definitely, God is capable of doing everything in His mercy and rahmah, in His blessings. ما يفتح الله للناس من رحمة فلا ممسك لها وما يمسك فلا مرسل له من بعده وهو العزيز الحكيم. Verse 2. Whatever of the blessings Allah opens out to His people, understanding of the faith, spiritual elevation, material progress, knowledge, scientific advancements, developments, health, and comforts, there is none to prevent, stop, block, or contain them. Contrary-wise, whatever Allah denies, holds back, stops, blocks, there is none who can give, provide, or impart other than Him, and He is the all-overpowering, overmaster, overriding, mighty, all-prevailing, the omniscient, having infinite knowledge and wisdom, all-wise. या अय्युहन्नास उज़्कुरू निअमतल्लाहि अलैकुम हल मिन खलकिन गैरुल्लाहि यर्ज़ुक़ुकुम मिनस-समाइ वल अर्ज़ ला इलाहा इल्ला हुवा फ़अन्ना तुफ़कून. 3. O my people, don't be indifferent. Remember the favors, blessings of Allah on you. Don't join the theater of the absurd. Don't join the theater of the absurd, the irrational people. Is there anyone other than Allah who provides you sustenance from the sky and the earth? There is no God but Him. When you know it's Allah who has created you and who provides you everything, what an elegy that you have turned skeptic. How then are you being deceived? How then are you being deceived? So, why this U-turn? وَإِنْ يُكَذِّبُكَ فَقَدْ كُذِّبَتْ رُسُلٌ مِّن قَبْلِكَ وَإِلَى اللَّهِ تُرْجَعُ الْأُمُورُ. 4. And this is the way of the misguided, the misled, pantheists, polytheists. So, O Prophet, if they demur, object to your teachings, or become virulent, hostile, acrimonious, don't feel overly hurt. Take it easy. For many of prophets have been disbelieved, refuted prior to you. Preconceived, prejudicial, narrow-minded, caste, rigid people have never been able to discern the reality of things. They don't believe you to be a true messenger of God without having any proof, and they have without having any proof, reason, or logic to refute. Let the matter be deferred. We'll give them latitude, for all the deeds would be eventually placed before Allah, who will retribute the evil and reward the good. يا أيها الناس إن وعد الله حق فلا تغرنكم الحياة الدنيا ولا يغرنكم بالله الغرور. 5. O people, definitely Allah's promise of holding you accountable for your beliefs and deeds hereafter is absolutely true, irresistible, inevitable. So, don't be foolhardy, rash, reckless, be deceived by the comforts, luxuries, pleasures, footling, wine, sex, and wealth, trappings of life in the world. And beware, don't get deceived by the great fraud, the devil, vis-a-vis Allah. إن الشيطان لكم عدو فاتخذوه عدوا وإنما يدعو حزبه ليكونوا من أصحاب السعير. 6. Definitely, the Satan devil is your enemy. So you also take him as your enemy, who cannot like anything good for you. He calls, misguides, misleads his community, devilish people motivated with Satanism, that he takes them along to be among the dwellers of hell, that he takes them along to be among the dwellers of hell. الذين كفروا لهم عذاب شديد والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير. 7. The verdict of God is implacable, unchangeable. Those who refute, disbelieve, they face a terrible, horrendous torture, punishment, misery forever. And those who believe and give a pious, good performance, they will be forgiven their peccadillos, minor sins, and they'll be greatly rewarded indeed. And they'll be greatly rewarded indeed. أَفَمَنْ زُيِّنَ لَهُ سُوءُ عَمَلِهِ فَرَآهُ حَسَنًا فإن الله يضل من يشاء ويهدي من يشاء فلا تذهب نفسك عليهم حسرات إن الله عليم بما يصنعون. Verse 8. Look at the individual, scapegrace, incorrigible, who escapes God's grace, having postulations and ideology, a culture based on things which God has strictly forbidden, in all his scriptures the grave sins. Is there a limit to an individual's misguidance? Who considers his sins, misdeeds, immorality to be something pleasing, attractive, superior, and he is convinced about it to be morally right, that he, as human being, has the freedom, liberty, right to do with his body whatever he pleases. The reason being that God is assisting in leading astray whoever he deems fit, and is putting on the right path whoever he deems fit. So, O Prophet, don't burn your soul lamenting their misguidings. Be in anguish wishing they could see the light. And O believers, don't feel attracted to the ways, habits, customs, and styles of living. God is well aware of each and every bit of their deeds. God is well aware of each and every bit of their deeds. والله الذي أرسل الرياح فتثير سحابا فسكنه إلى بلد ميت فأحيينا بالأرض بعد موتها كذلك النشور. 9. So don't forget, it's Allah who has established a system, a cycle of winds which lift off the clouds and make them drift to a dead, barren land. It rains, and the dead earth is enlivened. Vegetations, plants, trees sprouts as blades of grass, saplings. This is precisely the way mankind will be exhumed, re-raised from the womb of the earth. This is precisely the way mankind will be exhumed, re-raised from the womb of the earth. The Prophet, peace be upon him, stated that there is a minute particle, a protozoan, in the backbone which is fireproof and indestructible, which is fireproof and indestructible, which will form the basis, rallying point, a sperm acting as seed for reconstituting, regrowing, and re-raising the man. He'd initially be reared as trees. After about 40 years of the first great bugle, which had brought the world to an end, the second great bugle would be an order from the God, on which all the souls would dash into the respective bodies, on which all the souls would dash into the respective bodies, and mankind shall stand alive in absolutely new environment, and mankind shall stand alive in absolutely new environment. من كان يريد العزة فلله العزة جميعا عليه يسعد الكلم الطيب والعمل الصالح يفرح والذين يمكرون السيئات لهم عذاب شديد ومكر أولئك هو يبور. 10. Those who desire respect and make friends with the disbelievers must know that Allah is the one having infinite respect. Words of piety ascend towards him, carry weight with him, for he likes these. And pious deeds which substantiate words of piety, so rather than wasting time in singing, talking, nonsense, preposterous, ridiculous discussions, remember God and follow the Prophet's Sunnah in doing everything. Remember God and follow the Prophet's Sunnah in doing everything. And the people who are plotting evil deeds, they have a horrendous, terrible punishment just ahead. And their odious, disgusting, hateful plans of evil are disastrous for them. والله خلقكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم جعل لكم أزواجا وما تحمل من أنثى ولا تضع إلا بعلمه وما يؤمر من مؤمر ولا ينقص من عمره إلا في كتاب إن ذلك على الله يسير. 11. And the two-bit voluptuaries addicted to luxury, sensual pleasures, who have made themselves undeclared gods by pontificating the right and wrong against the values ordered by Allah and the Prophet, peace be upon him, and pontificating the right and wrong against the values ordered by Allah and the Prophet. Mustn't forget, Allah created you, O man, initially from cheap clay, Adam. Thereafter, every individual from a dirty drop of semen. Then He made you couples, spouses, man and woman. That procreation continues till the doomsday. And He, Allah, knows well in advance what's to happen. No female conceives nor gives birth without His knowledge and preference. And He controls life and death. No person advances in age or has his life cut off, but people haggle about the cause and effect. Whether change is taken as a direct action in recreating the atoms in different states of instantaneous being, or every change as a succession of events with no secondary casualty, Allah is the prime and only cause of all that takes place. All is saved in a book metaphysically, and it is all extremely easy for Allah. And it is all extremely easy for Allah. وما يستفي البحران هذا عذب فرات سائغ شرابه وهذا ملح أجاج ومن كل تأكلون لحما طريا وتسخرون حلية تلبسونها وترى الفلك فيه مواخر لتبتغوا من فضله ولعلكم تشكرون. Verse 1-2. And the two rivers, water, are not the same. These rivers' waters is sweet, quenches thirst, and pleasant, energizing to drink. And this, the other water, bitter, brackish, but God has no problems with both. He has created amphibians in both types of waters, and you consume fresh meat from both, and take out pearls that you wear. And it isn't amazing, doesn't catch your eye that you see the things, that you see the ships tearing through the waters, railing across the rivers and oceans, that you search from His blessings, fisheries, seafoods, its raw materials and mineral resources, and that you are grateful by obeying Him, and that you are grateful by obeying Him. يولج الليل في النهار ويولج النهار في الليل وسخر الشمس والقمر كل يجري لأجل مسمى ذلكم الله ربكم له الملك والذين تدعون من دونه ما يملكون من كتمير. 1-3. It's God who inserts the night into the day and inserts the day into the night, and has put the sun and the moon on an arduous task, each of them, all the planets, galaxies, glacial systems, travel to an ordained time. All the planets, galaxies, glacial systems travel to an ordained time. This is your God, having such astounding, amazing powers. For Him is the rule of the worlds, all universes, and those and demigods you invoke other than Him, they haven't created, don't even own a membrane of a date stone. إن تدعوهم لا يسمعوا دعاءكم ولا سمعوا ما استجابوا لكم ويوم القيامة يكفرون بشرككم ولا ينبئك مثل خبير. 1-4. And if you pray to them, address them, the associates, demigods, etc., can't listen to your pleas, prayers, requests for help. And if they hear the living whom you take as gods, human beings, devils, they can't reach out to help you, and they'll disavow all your shirk, polytheism, on the doomsday. Declare straight out and eloquently that they had nothing to do with your pantheist beliefs, and none would elaborate everything and forewarn you as one who is all-wise, the God. Ya nas antum al-fuqara'u ila Allah wallahu huwal ghaniyyul hamid. 1-5. O people, you are definitely dependent on, you are infinitely, my apologies, O people, you are infinitely dependent on Allah. Contrariwise, your prayers, obedience, do not benefit God in any way. And Allah is the one who is ever disregarding, doesn't need you in His functionality at all. He is the well praiseworthy. He is the all praiseworthy. إن يشاء يذهبكم ويأتي بخلق جديد. 1-6. And let not the disbelievers live with false and distorted perceptions that the world is a hugger-mugger, a bedlam, and there is none to grip them, and they can live an unmolested visceral life. Because if Allah prefers, He can remove you off from the face of the earth, eliminate the mankind, or put it at a backstage, and establish another Genesis, stonking, excellent, and perfect in obedience as the angels. Every individual is a life renter of the worldly things, whereas the deeds shall stick to man till eternity. Whereas the deeds shall stick to man till eternity. Opportunities to perform the evil are actually a trap laid for those inclined to devilish deeds. These powers, opportunities, and freedom are not a golden spoon in the mouth, but a knife in the back, of which you are forewarned well in advance, well in advance. وَمَا ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ بِعَزِيزٍ 1:7. God doesn't impose His obedience on the mankind, else He can eliminate the rebellious, sinful in situ. And this is just a flea bite, trivial, easy, isn't difficult for Allah at all. This is just a flea bite, trivial, easy, isn't difficult for Allah at all. ولا تزر وزرة وزر أخرى وإن تدعو مثقلة إلى حملها لا يهمل منه شيء وكان قربا إنما تنذر الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب وقاموا الصلاة ومن تزكى فإنما يتزكى لنفسه وإلى الله المصير. 1:8. And none would carry the burden of the other, and if someone would entreat to get his burden shared, request for some pious deeds to actualize his own salvation, none would assist with even a minuscule, in spite of being very closely related. You aren't but to admonish, forewarn those who fear their Rabb, Creator, without having seen Him, who fear their Rabb, Creator, without having seen Him in any palpable form, and establish prayers, and the one who cleanses, purifies himself, becoming irreproachable, free of faults, strict follower of Sunnah, will become irreproachable, clean to his own eternal good, will become irreproachable, clean to his own eternal good. And in any case, at last, everyone, everything, every deed would inevitably revert to Allah. And in any case, at last, everyone, everything, every deed would inevitably revert to Allah. And the last verse for today, وَمَا يَسْتَوِي الْأَعْمَى وَالْبَصِيرُ 1:9. And you know it well, the blind to reason, the truth, light, and the one with knowledge, perception are not alike. And you know it well, the blind to reason, the truth, light, and the one with knowledge, perception are not alike. They are a way different here, and so shall they be treated differently by God hereafter, and so shall they be treated differently by God hereafter. That's the end for today. Inshallah, Allah be willing, shall meet on the 10th again, inshallah. Till then, please pray for me, ex-Brigadier Mustansir Billah.